Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2023 IFBB Pro League Europa Pro, all the women's events. Bikini, wellness, fitness, figure, women's physique, and women's bodybuilding. An absolutely gigantic show with amazing top fives in every single division. And coming up next is my week 7 weeks out, journey to the Olympia Amateur Bikini. So I am documenting my whole prep. Make sure you check it out. Don't forget to subscribe. It'll be coming up next. Okay, and in terms of Olympia, it's the top 3 from last year's Olympia who are already qualified, and then the winner of each division during the qualification period, which is very quickly coming to an end. We're almost at the end of the qualification period, which means there are only a few shows left for these women to qualify. Very exciting, very high stakes. So beginning with pro women's bodybuilding. In first place, Chelsea. Second, Victoria. Third, Jacqueline. Fourth, Julia. And fifth, Virginia. And you can see it was pretty close between second and third place. Wow. Okay, so here's Virginia in fifth place, and my goodness, does she ever look incredible. She is so muscular and really great definition. Good detail in her legs, great abs. What really caught my eye though were her lats. I think they look even better than they did at the Masters Olympia. There's just a little bit more roundness. There's this tiniest bit of a dip right here. I think it looks so good. She just has a really fabulous shape, really nice proportions. She's beautiful. I also really like this suit. I think the teeny tiny little straps are amazing. It just makes your eye really glide over her physique. I prefer the more quiet pattern also. So I think she made some really great choices in her suit. Her posing looks great. Her tan was so rich and dark, and she just looks amazing. Next and fourth is Julia. Incredible size. My goodness. Huge legs, really big lats and arms, amazing biceps and triceps. Just her arms are massive. Great proportions with her legs. I do think, however, that the conditioning could have been tighter. She could have come in a bit leaner, more lines in the quads, more ab definition, more tightness to the waistline, just a little bit more of that really shredded athletic look. But overall, I think her size is amazing. I love the snake print suit. She's just absolutely gorgeous. Next and third is Jacqueline. Holy, her conditioning is crazy. Check out that vascularity in her legs. She looks grainy. She looks gritty. Wow, really impressive. And she's got a great shape too. Really good delts, nice lats. I think she's got a good balance within the upper body itself between the size in her arms and the size in the lats. She's got this smooth, long torso with great curves in her legs and amazing detail. I do wish that the abs were a bit more visible. You can see the obliques and some of that line coming across, but just if there could be more of the six-pack overall appearance. But still, I think she looks really great, good posing, a beautiful size, and great conditioning. Next, in second place, Victoria. Wow, her arms are stunning. Really good outlining of the bicep and the delt area. I think she's got these perfectly beautiful rounded biceps. They just look so good. Nice lats. Her torso is more short, so it's really accentuating that X frame. It just goes from elbow to lat to waist and right back into her legs. Gorgeous. She's got really good size, nice sweep in the outside of the quad, but also really good size and roundness to the inside, and crazy detail coming through in the legs. Love it. I think she could also have a little bit more of that tightness and leanness to the stomach to show off more of the six-pack itself, but overall, she's got a really good shape and amazing size. And now finally in first place is Chelsea. Oh my gosh. She looks stunning. She has the most beautiful skin tone. Her skin is tight, it's smooth, it's a beautiful color. She's not overly grainy or vascular. She just has this softness, yet is perfectly conditioned. You have the full six-pack abs. You've got great detail in her quads, feathering, good detail right from all the way down from the kneecap up into her hips. Just a smoothness, beautiful. And her waistline, nobody comes even close to how tiny and small and just perfectly tapered her waist is. The V-taper is beautiful, the sweep is beautiful, and my gosh, that suit is stunning. I don't know that I've ever seen as pretty of a suit on a female bodybuilder. Like, this is gorgeous. I think her overall look from head to toe, perfect first place. She looks amazing. So here's the side by side. You can clearly see how Chelsea's waistline is like nobody else's. Extremely small. She's really vacuuming it in. You can see six-pack abs and great V-taper. And then she's got beautiful legs to match. You definitely see some size on Julia. Her quads are amazing, but not as much conditioning as some of the other ladies. I think all of the women have really impressive upper bodies, but when you look at the total package, Chelsea has it. The small waistline, the beautiful skin tone, and just that overall X frame. And then from behind, wow, so impressive. That tiny waist, again, really is noticeable on Chelsea. I think it makes her V-taper very noticeable, but she also has a really nice lower body. Her glutes have a good shape on the outside, a very sharp line outlining the sides, and really well-defined hamstrings and a good quad sweep. Victoria beside her, I think, has some great size to her back, not quite as tiny of a midsection, and she also has some really good glutes. Virginia, I think, could have a little bit more width to the top part of her back, right in the lats up in here. Julia, beautiful size to her glutes, but does need more of the detail coming through in the back of her legs. Jacqueline, crazy detail in her back in particular. I love how her suit just disappears. You don't even see the straps. I'm not crazy about the fit of her bottoms. I think there's too much fabric. She could have a smaller cut to show off more of her glute shape. But wow, what a top 5. And in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified. Okay, moving on to Pro Fitness. In first place, Michaela. Second, Amy. Third, Mina. Fourth, Nicolette. And fifth, Denise. And what's a little bit unusual about the scorecard is they didn't separate out the prejudging, so the physique round and the routine round. So normally I would talk a little bit about where the women placed in which category, but all we have here are the final numbers, so I'm not sure. So here's Denise in 5th place. Beautiful physique. I love her abs. I think she's got really great delts too. The conditioning looks really strong in her upper body. You've got a really nice amount of detail coming through in her arms, but I feel like it's not as prominent in the lower body. I'd love to see a little bit more lines coming through in the quads themselves. But great abs, great overall shape, and nice size. And there's a look at her routine. Super fun. Next in 4th is Nicolette. Amazing size. She's got a really good V-taper, nice height on the delts, beautiful width to her quads. I think this front pose is very strong. However, definitely more conditioning to really come in tighter, leaner, more muscle definition. I want to see the six-pack. I want to see feathering. I want to see lines in the legs. I want to see a little bit more outline of the delts. So just a little bit more of that detail would have taken it to another level. But beautiful suit, nice posing, and great overall size. And there's a look at her routine. Fabulous. All right, next in 3rd is Mina. We just saw her winning the Masters Olympia. So impressive. I think she's maintaining a great shape, though I do think she was a bit leaner at the Olympia. I think her waistline was a little tighter, a little more detail coming through in the legs, but still an incredible look. She's got great delts, really nice size in her upper body. You get that triangular shape really clearly from her. Nice size in the legs as well, and good detail coming through in the quads in particular. There's a look at her routine. Next in second place is Amy. Beautiful lines in her legs. I love her hamstrings. She's got a lot of lat also. Really, really impressive shape in this pose. Now, I do think she could have a little bit more glute. I think the height could be more right in here. And I also notice in her posing, she almost has a shrugging appearance to her shoulders. I think you'll see it more in the lineup than in this photo. So if she could just relax the shoulders down. I don't know, I don't know how you spread the lats without shrugging the shoulders, but if she could just kind of maintain the lat shape, but let the delts be a little bit more relaxed, I think that would flatter her shape a little bit more. But she's got beautiful skin tone, really nice suit color. I love her very bright blonde hair. And I think overall she's got a really fabulous shape, particularly those hamstrings. Definitely caught my eye. There's a look at her routine. I'm loving the definition in her legs that you're seeing, even while she's jumping. And great abs too. And then in first place is Michaela. So I knew that I remembered Michaela from somewhere. She's absolutely beautiful. And it was the 2022 Olympia that she first really caught my eye. I remember commenting that her routine was exceptional. And she looks as beautiful as ever. I love her lipstick. I love the suit. It's pink and red and it just looks gorgeous on her. She's got an amazing V-taper, tiny waist, the tiniest of them all in this lineup, beautiful glute shape and really good balance between upper and lower body. I think you definitely notice how well lined up her delts are with her glutes. She's just got this great width both in the upper body and in the lower body with the tiny waistline in between. A gorgeous shape. She could have a little tiny bit more conditioning, sure, and she could even have more size, a little bit more height to the glute, but I think in her own frame, her own proportions, she's absolutely stunning, and she really has a beautiful overall look. And there is a look at her routine. I'm sure you'll remember it from the Olympia. So good. So here's everyone side by side. Maybe you'll see what I mean. Nicolette could have had a little more conditioning. Michaela has beautiful proportions and what a tiny waist. Her V-taper is exceptional. Mina, great size, really big lats, big legs, and extremely well conditioned in the legs in particular. Amy's legs also look amazing. This is what I mean about a bit more of a shrugged appearance. I think she could relax the arms a little bit. Denise, I think, looks amazing. Great delts. Nice ab definition, but I think her legs could have a bit more detail coming through. Beautiful. And then from behind, Mina here, I think, has a really nice fullness in her back. Good detail coming through in the middle of the back. Amy also has great definition in her back and nice detail coming through in her adductors. I think Michaela has some nice size in her glutes, but could have had a little more detail coming through in the tie-ins. But wow, what a tiny waist. Overall, a beautiful top 5 for sure. Fitness is always extremely impressive. And in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified. And look at that, Whitney Jones' name has been added. Of course, she is a former Miss Olympia. She doesn't have to re-qualify, but I notice it's a new addition to the list, so that's exciting. Okay, moving on to Pro Figure. In first place, Gabriella, second, Paula, third, Ara, fourth, Anna, and fifth, Nadine. So here's Nadine in fifth place. Beautiful. She's been doing so well all season. Extremely conditioned, great shape. I love her V-taper. She's got really nice roundness to the delts that comes so beautifully into the lats. Nice tight midsection and just gorgeous definition in her legs. Always. She's never disappoints in the detailing in her legs. For some reason, I don't think her midsection looks quite so good this time, whether it's the tan or whether she's just not quite as lean as before. I think, for example, at the M Pro, you got a much better look at her abs than you're getting here. But still, I think overall, she's got a really nice shape. She's posing beautifully. The suit is gorgeous. The hair, the makeup, stunning. So overall, a good 5th place for her, though I don't think it's the best look we've ever seen from head to toe. I think the M Pro was pretty darn impressive, just with the detail and the abs and the tininess of the waist. Next in 4th is Anna. Beautiful. She looks extremely tall and very long limbs. Her legs just go forever. She's got a lot of length to the quads, really great definition in her abs, nice size and width to the lats. Wow. Overall, a really impressive tapering in from the delts to the waist, and nice shape too in the lower body. I do think that she could have more roundness to the delts. I think this space from like here to there could be a bit more filled in, just a bit more of that curve, and she could even have more roundness to the quads, and that could potentially come as easily as turning the toes out more, just so that we see a bit more curviness to her very long, lean shape. But it's a beautiful suit, great color. I love her long dark hair. I think she looks beautiful from head to toe. Next in 3rd is Aira, and there you have those delts that I mean. A lot more curve and fullness, and just a really beautiful shape. Comes into a great V taper with her tiny waist, and what's really nice too is the fit of her suit really catches your eye and brings it down into that V shape. Perfect. Great size to her quads, really good conditioning as well. You got a lot of detail, very 3D and pulled out. Her abs look really flat. There is that nice definition in there, though I wish the 6-pack was kind of popping a bit more. I do like that you can see the lines. I think the conditioning looks really great in her legs, but somehow could be a little bit sharper outlining the delts. That's really about it. I think her suit is stunning. It's beautiful colors, great design. I love that her hair is off of her face. It's off of her shoulders. You just have a great view of those amazing delts, and she looks really beautiful. All right, next in 2nd is Paula. Holy mackerel. Her proportions are crazy. She's got such massive shoulders, huge delts, a teensy waist, and gorgeously large legs. And man, the conditioning in her legs is outstanding. You have so much detail. It's just it's unreal. I really think you get a good look at her V taper. She's posing really well to make her stomach look very narrow. She's also extremely tall, and I think her frame is filled out really well. I would also, with her, experiment with pointing the toes outward just so that there's even more curve to the quad. I think her delts and lats are so visible and so curvy that it would be really good if we could get the legs to match even more curvy as they are up top. I love her suit. She's got some big crystals in there. I think it's nice that she's got some coordination with the jewelry, and just overall she looks absolutely stunning. Maybe a tiny bit more definition in the abs just to really show the 6-pack, but otherwise amazing. Those delts are killer. And now in first place is Gabriella. Wow. Her lats really catch my eye. They're so round. They're very bubbly, really just full, like balloons. Perfect round shape. Great roundness and height on her delts as well. She's just so compact and condensed in the muscle in her upper body with this very narrow waistline, great ab definition, and beautiful detail in her legs. I do think she would benefit also from having a bit more turnout. I think you would see the sweep a little bit more, and maybe even if she popped the glutes a bit, like lean forward a bit, it might even bring her upper body more forward and just create even more of a narrowing in of the waist. But overall, she looks absolutely unreal. Great color in this suit. I'm not actually crazy about the fit of her suit bottoms. You'll see it more in the lineup photo in the back. I feel like they could come up higher and they could be more pinched in. I think there's too much fabric here. And in behind, you'll see in a second. But overall, I think she looks great. Really beautiful skin tone. The tan is gorgeous. Her makeup is beautiful, and she just looks stunning. And she's not the biggest girl on this stage in this lineup, but she's just got beautiful proportions and conditioning. Okay, so here's everyone side by side. I am drawn to Gabriella's legs. I think you definitely notice all of that gorgeous detail coming through. I notice Paula's upper body and those delts and the lats. I think Anna has a really good width in her upper body. And great detail coming through in her abs. Nadine, beautiful delts, really great curve to her quads. I noticed that shape very clearly. Aira, amazing definition in her legs, but I don't think her waistline looks as tiny as, for example, the top three. And then from behind, unreal. The top three in particular, I think, have a lot of width in the back with a very small waist, and the V tapers look extremely impressive. Anna, I don't think has as much definition, so you're not seeing as much of that 3D quality as you're seeing from Gabriella and Paula. And Paula has a little bit more width in her glutes, whereas Gabriella is a bit more condensed. Her shape is a bit more within the lines of her legs, whereas Paula's come out beyond her frame. This is where I was talking about the suit. I think Gabriella has just too much fabric. If she had a smaller cut, I think it would flatter her glute shape even more. But overall, this is an incredible top 5. Paula's delts look so good. I think Nadine has some amazing glutes, really nice round shape. Same with Aira, but man, top 3 in particular, but top 2 really fabulous overall shape and conditioning. A great win for Gabriella. And in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified. Okay, Pro Bikini. In first place, Valeria. Second, Chantel. Third, Lisa. Fourth, there it is, Otavia. And fifth, Christina. And when you look at the scores, it was really close between Christina and Otavia. Only 1 point when they were in the judging and the prejudging. So very exciting. Okay, so here's Christina in 5th place. She's been doing so many shows back to back, unreal, working so hard. She looks beautiful. She's got a really nice fullness to her delts, a great size and fullness in her legs. But I do think this is not the best look we've seen from her. I feel that her waistline is not as trim and flat as we've seen at previous shows. She just looks a bit more full, not quite as lean and tight as typical. So here's a closer up view. You can see she's got beautiful delts, really nice fullness to the legs and the glutes. But yeah, just not quite as tiny of a midsection as usual, not as much detail in the abs. And I do still think that she could separate her legs a little bit and have a bit wider of a stance, and to try to level out the shoulders so it doesn't look so much like she's pulling down in her upper body, just to make her look a bit more tall, confident, poised, and just really full in the upper body. Okay, next in and 4th is Otavia. Beautiful. She looks great in this blue. I definitely prefer the blue, I think. It looks really good with her skin and her hair. I think in this photo, she's got a nice fullness to the legs. Her glutes have a beautiful shape. She also has a really good roundness to the delts. When I look at her delt here compared to at the flex had a lot more sharpness and lines and angles, whereas here she's got more roundness and curves. So definitely a nice look in the upper body and in the lower body. However, I think her midsection looked a little tighter and more trim at the flex. So at the end of the day, I think the Shiru was probably the best look in terms of kind of a combination of these two. She had that roundness where she needed it. She had tightness where she needed it. Here she's just a little bit more full, but clearly she still got fourth place, so she's doing okay. I think she does look beautiful and did a great job. I'm particularly impressed with how full and large her quads are. I think she's got a really impressive quad sweep, and overall it's stunning. Okay, next in third place is Lisa, and I think she has found the perfect balance between conditioning and roundness and lines and just having the perfect look. In the beginning, I thought she was really lean. It looked amazing, but it was probably too hard for bikini. And I think over the season, she's figured out exactly how to come in with just the right amount of curves, fullness, and just the most beautiful shape. So she's doing amazing. She's maintaining a really nice, tight waistline, good lats and delts, really, so that fullness in the upper body, great glute. I think she's got a good size and she's got some nice curves and she's got a lot of muscle mass in her legs. So overall, a really fabulous look. And I think over time, she's really getting better and better. So here's a little bit closer of an image just to give you a great look. She's got some gorgeous curves to the hamstring, really nice shape in the glutes, particularly here at the bottom, and just overall a really nice hourglass shape. I like the red lip coordinated with the red suit. Her posing looks good. She's got a nice your eyes drawn up because of where her hand is located on her stomach. And I think she just has a really nice look overall. A great third place for her. Now in second place is Chantal. Amazing. She's doing so well. I love this purple suit. I think I like it better than the red myself. I think it's a really good color with her skin. Actually really liked how she had her hair behind her ear in this photo. I think it just opens up her face a little bit more than having the hair flow on its own. She's got beautiful lines in the shoulders, just a great outline of the delt, really nice size to the glute and legs. I think the proportion in the lower body is really nice. She's got a really good flat stomach, great obliques. I do find she's quite sideways in the way that she's posing. I wouldn't mind if there was a little bit more of her torso showing towards the front. But, it's the angle of the photographer versus the angle of the judges. So they might have had a little bit more of a view of her abs, the six-pack, the definition. Also, I think we got a little bit more of a view of her delt at this show with just where the photographer was versus here. To me, it's a little bit more sideways. But I think you can see she's got some great size in her legs. Beautiful calves. Although that was one thing I noticed is she does kind of pose with her foot pointing to the back corner. I wonder if we're losing some of the shape of her leg by that, and maybe if she tried with the knee more sideways, it might give us a better look at that back leg. But overall, absolutely stunning. She looks amazing. I can't believe she's doing so well. Another second place. Unreal. And then in first place is Valeria. And man, when I saw her picture, I just thought she looks so fresh. She looks just healthy, glowy, full of life. Her body looks perfect. She's full in all the right places, tiny waist. So her shape is unreal. Her hair looks so soft and flowy. Her face looks beautiful. Like fresh really is the word I think that perfectly describes her look. Healthy, vibrant, and just beautiful. She's got great detail in her quad in the back leg, nice fullness in the front leg. I don't know whether it's the angle of her foot versus here, but to me, her quad just looks so big and round and full. Beautiful detail in her abs, and man, those shoulders are stunning. So she just looks really, really healthy and beautiful and wonderful. All right, so here's everyone side by side. I think Valeria's posing sets her out of the crowd. You just see this beautiful lower body in how she has her legs posed. You see the curve of her back, and you see this gorgeous upper body with the delts. And man, is her waist ever tiny. I don't know that anybody else is showcasing their waist as well as Valeria is. Beautiful delts as well. Your just eye flows over. I definitely notice on Lisa the lats and just her width in her upper body. Christina, I'm noticing her delts also. She's looking really good in this photo here. Ottavia, lovely glute, great shape to her quads. And Chantal, massive size in the legs, looks really awesome. Nice curve, but to me, Valeria just is looking so poised and unreal. And then from behind, what Valeria has is these amazing tie-ins, but also her glutes come out nice and long and low. I feel like Chantal has a little bit more of a squared shape, whereas Valeria is a little bit more curves. Lisa's got some nice roundness on the sides, but maybe not quite coming down as long. Ottavia, beautiful roundness, particularly here on the inside of the glutes. Christina, I'm noticing her tiny waist. I think her hair is cut in a very good way. Ottavia could maybe have a little less hair or perhaps in a bit more of a V shape. Valeria's hair, I think, is perfect. Really nice length. So you see the tiny waist, and man, those delts are just popping. And funny, I did notice because everybody except for Lisa has straight hair, Lisa's curls are almost distracting. I would have liked to have either more like a straightness with just curls at the bottom or just straight all around, just to be a little bit less busy. I really do like this more streamlined look of the straight hair. Maybe it's just because she's the one that stands out because it's not straight. But anyway, just something I noticed. Overall, beautiful back shot of the top 5, but I think Valeria does have something special with the length of her glutes, the tie-in detail, the curves in her legs, and just that nice rounded overall shape with the tiny waist. Beautiful. And in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified. All right, women's physique. In first place, Karina. Second, Caroline. Third, Sarah. Fourth, Emilia. And fifth, Joanna. So here's Joanna in fifth. We just saw her at the Masters Olympia. And my goodness, is she ever consistent? It's almost like a mirror image. You know, you could place one picture right on top of the other, and I think she's looking really consistent and amazing. Extremely tiny waist, fabulous definition in her abs, crazy good detail coming through in her legs. In fact, maybe even more detail coming through in this picture than we saw here. Extremely good conditioning, gorgeous shape. She's got a really great X. She's not the largest. You know, I think she could have a little bit more lat spread in terms of comparing with the other girls, but I think for her own frame, she's got a really great shape. And man, what a gorgeous amount of conditioning. The detail to show off her muscles is beautiful. Next in fourth is Emilia, and my goodness, her legs are crazy. Great size, great detail, just so round in the bottom part of her thighs, great quad sweep, amazing definition coming through on the top of the quads. She's got some good definition, particularly at the top of the abs, though I wouldn't mind if we could see a little bit more of that detail coming through to the bottom of her abs. And I think, you know, she could have a tiny bit more of a pinching in of the waist just to make the V taper a little bit more obvious. She's got beautiful arms, really nice lats, and just that conditioning is awesome. And I love her suit. The blue and red combo is gorgeous. Great eyeshadow too. And her posing is beautiful. I think she's doing a great job showcasing the quad sweep and just that beautiful X frame. All right, next and third is Sarah. Wow, so her midsection is crazy. Very small, very flat, tiny midsection with really good ab definition. She kind of twists in this pose to really showcase how much of a V-taper she really does have. It's very beautiful. Great sweep to her quads, good size in her legs. The suit looks beautiful. I like this purpley blue better than the red. I think it's a good color against her skin. I love that her hair is so slick and tight to her, tightly pulled back. It gives you such a great view of her arms. She's got lots of size. Just overall, she looks really good. Now, in terms of this pose, I love it in the individual routine, but I'm not crazy about it in the lineup, in the comparison. I think if she was a little bit more straight, she'd be more comparable with the other girls, but we'll get there in a second. Overall, I think she looks really good, great shape. The only thing maybe she could do differently would be to be higher up on the toe of this foot and have the leg out a bit more. I think that would give you more of an X shape. Otherwise, absolutely amazing. Next and second is Caroline, and my gosh, I can't get over the detail in her legs. She has so much conditioning, crazy lines. The grooves are so deep and easy to see. Wow. I did like that you could see her glute in this photo. It's just an angle. I'm sure you could see it. It's popping out here. But I thought that was so impressive seeing that amount of size coming through even in the front pose. She's got a really nice flat midsection with great lats. So overall, she's just got this gorgeous overall silhouette. I do think she could have a little bit more shoulder, a bit more of peak to the delts, but her conditioning is great. Her color, the suit, I love her hair. I think it's got just the right amount of volume. I like that highlight she's got in the front. But man, those legs are something else. And then in first place is Karina, and my goodness, it's the midsection to the lats that really gets me. I think her proportions are just gorgeous. She's got such a crazy tininess compared to the width of her upper body, and curves in her legs are gorgeous. So she's got these great muscles in the legs, tiny waist, huge lats, and check out all of the definition and detail coming through in her arms. You can see each individual muscle in her arms so clearly. It's absolutely stunning. And her posing is perfect. She's really elongated the leg. It's showcasing the quad sweep. It's making you notice that X frame. You see the V taper so clearly with the cut of her suit, the way that she's got her arms up. The lats are gorgeous. Oh, it's too much. She looks beautiful. And you know what? This is the best I've seen yellow on a competitor. It looks great with her hair, with her skin tone, that white and the big crystals breaking up the yellow. It looks gorgeous. She did everything right. Conditioning, size, shape, posing, amazing. Here's the side-by-side. You can't help but notice the waistline on Karina. No one is coming close. Sarah potentially could come close, but I think because she's so twisted, you're not getting as good of a look as you are with Karina. We're losing her X frame. Whereas Karina, it's all you see. It's so good. Caroline has some beautiful legs, great conditioning. I don't think Caroline or Amelia have quite the waistline like Karina. She's really got a tininess in her stomach that shows so well the V-taper. Joanna's tan looks gorgeous. It's such a rich color. You're getting great detail coming through. But, I mean, my gosh, the size, the lat spread, Karina just looks amazing. I think Sarah's lat spread looks really good also. You're really noticing that size. And Caroline, it's the legs that I'm noticing. And then from behind, my goodness, again, the tiny waist, she's got such a full back. I think everybody's backs looks really good. Joanna, maybe a little bit more fullness in the lats here. Karina's glutes look so good. They're very well defined, but still have a roundness at the top. I think Sarah loses some of her roundness in just how lean she is. Emilia's got some great outlining, very striated. Caroline also is extremely lean, but I don't know how Karina does it, but she still has a roundness despite being extremely lean and great definition down in her legs. It's stunning. I think she has such a great look. So in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified. And finally, Pro Wellness. In first place, Sandra. Second, Claudia. Third, Paula. Fourth, Nerilda. And fifth, Charlene. So here's Charlene in fifth place, looking amazing. She's got a great shape to the back of her legs. I love the fullness in the hamstring and where it connects to the glute. Awesome. I do think she could have a little bit more height on the top part of the glute, but overall, the shape of her quad, the legs, gorgeous. She's got a really nice trim and small waistline too, and I think she's got just the right amount of development in her arms, that it's a good match with the lower body. I don't think this picture is doing her justice in the conditioning. You see this line really well, but in the lineup photo, her legs look crazy detailed. So overall, I think she did a great job. Her suit color is stunning. Her posing is perfect. She looks beautiful. Next, Nerilda in fourth place. Amazing size. Her glutes look so good. She's coming off a huge win at the Masters Olympia, maintaining a great degree of definition in the legs. Maybe a tiny bit less detail than we saw here, but just tiny. She's got a nice definition and good tightness to the stomach. Her skin looks really smooth, great detail in her abs, nice fullness to the lats, and her delts look really good. A great amount of outline. Just overall, a really beautiful shape. I think she could have a tiny bit more fullness right here where the glute kind of dips before it comes out, but her size is gorgeous. I also do think she could experiment with separating the feet a little more just so that we can see the hamstring of the back leg a little bit better. But I love the bright lips, coordinated so perfectly with the color of her suit, and I think she looks really beautiful. Next and third is Paula, and it's a different angle of the photo, but man, it's a great look at her glute. She's got a lot of size in her lower body, beautiful curves. I love the fullness that you're seeing in her back leg, and she's got a really nice small midsection with great lats too. So just overall, your eye really travels beautifully over her body. I love the color of her suit. It looks beautiful with the lipstick and the hair. Maybe she could have had a little bit more glossiness. You're kind of losing some of that detail in her upper body. The tattoos are dark for sure, but I think if she had just a little bit more sheen, it would show off the delts a bit better. But great definition. I love this groove here in her hip. Nice size, beautiful. I think she looks absolutely amazing. Next is Claudia in second, and my gosh, a few really good things that I have to say. Number one, the suit color. Love it. It's so perfect on her with the dark hair. It's just really popping. And in the lineup, I think you notice her suit right away. The second thing I love about her is her posing. She looks so upright, so open, so curvaceous in her back. I just think it's stunning. She's got a really great way of holding her upper body that really showcases her curves. And then the third thing I love is her conditioning. Great detail coming through in her quads, beautiful detail in her glute here, beautiful amount of line showing off the quad. I just think she looks stunning. She's got such a great shape. I love the shape of the glute, how it comes right from her suit all the way around. Her skin looks flawless. She looks tight. She looks firm. Absolutely stunning. And you know what? I don't mind that her feet are close together because whether it's the angle of the photo, I don't know, but I still get to see all of that curve of her hamstring in the back leg, and I think it's beautiful. She looks absolutely amazing. And now in first place is Sandra. Okay, so I actually saw Sandra in person on stage at the Toronto Pro, and what caught my eye there was how tiny her midsection is. She really vacuums it in, and her stomach is just minuscule. So that is something that is a real strength on Sandra, is just her proportions. She's got so much size in her legs. I think she's a lot more full and a lot less detailed than she was at the Toronto. I think you're seeing more of a roundness in her legs than you saw here, and it's a great look on her, particularly this hamstring. She's got a lot of size. She's got a beautiful shape in the lower body. You know, I do think she could have more size on the top of the glute, and she could even have a little bit more twist to her upper body. I think the Toronto, I preferred how much of her shoulders we could see, the back shoulder, whereas here she's just a little bit more sideways. But man, oh man, what a great size she has. She's got softness where she needs it, but tightness and firmness where she needs it in the stomach. She looks beautiful, and I love that red lip with the red suit. Stunning. Okay, so here's everyone side by side. Everybody looks amazing. See what I mean about Charlene's definition? It looks crazy good in this photo. Nerilda, I'm noticing the width on her glutes. She's got so much size. Claudia, it's that upper body. I think she's posing beautifully to really show off the curve. No one is showing the curve like she is. Paula, the size in her glute and leg looks absolutely stunning. Really nice delts here too. And then Sandra, it's this beautiful curve in her hamstring, but I think she really gets the win in the back pose. But man, check out that gorgeous red lip. She looks beautiful. Okay, so in this back pose, this is where Sandra, I think, is really strong. She's got really good tie-ins, great definition in her legs, but check out these curves to the inside of her legs. Her inner thighs look amazing. She's got some quads, but they're not overly dominant. It's the glutes that you're noticing, the tiny waistline, and then this nice hourglass shape. I think Claudia could have a little bit more length to her glutes. They're very high, but Sandra's come down a little bit lower. Paula, beautiful firmness and height. I love how much roundness she has on the top of her glutes here. Nerilda, beautiful overall shape, though I do think she could stand with her feet a little closer together. I don't know that she needs that much space. Charlene, gorgeous, a lot of quad, great fullness in the glutes. But Sandra, to me, she just has such a nice length and just the most beautiful leg shape from behind. It's gorgeous. And she was already qualified, already on the list. So that wraps up this recap. I've got another one coming your way, the San Antonio Pro, and I should be able to catch up on the 2 Masters shows that I had to skip over to keep on time. So stay tuned for those recaps. They'll be coming soon. Give me a like if you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and of course on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.